What's up, Trail Trash? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just doing an update on the FJ and an update on a few pieces of equipment I got for the garage. I did receive my 130 amp alternator this week, so I replaced my stock alternator, which is 100 amp, with the 130 amp. It was a direct fit, the plug and play, everything is right. It works properly now when I use all my off-road lights and have all my accessories going at the same time. There's no drop in the voltage on my batteries, either one of them. So that was the main issue I was having with my headlights and rock lights and fog lights on at the same time with that DC to DC charger going. It would, my volts would drop down on the starter battery. So that's what all the lights were hooked off of. And with the fog lights and the rock lights, it would get flicker after about 30 seconds of being on. It would drop down, and it wasn't enough voltage to properly operate everything. So the 130 amp alternator fixed that, and there's no drop in voltage. Everything's good. All I needed was that extra 30 amps. I did put a 180 amp alternator on prior to that, but with the Dakota lithium batteries, I prefer 130 amp charge on them, so I replaced that one with the 130 amp, and man, it's spot on. So I wish I would have known about how the Dakota lithium batteries prefer to be charged, so I could have got the correct alternator in the beginning. All right, so you can see the alternator there, and so this one has the same size pulley as the factory. Bolt up pattern's the same. All your pieces bolt up exactly the same. So the alternator itself shipped everything, I think was like $230 something, $39 I believe, $237. And I mean, you pay more for that in AutoZone, so we'll see how long it lasts. I think it's a 3-year warranty on it, which I think is pretty good for an alternator. It is a brand new alternator. It's not a rebuilt alternator. So we'll see. So that's the alternator. What else I have going on here? Oh, I did have so my battery, I think from the heat, it has bubbled a little. And I took pictures of it and sent it to Dakota Lithium on Friday, and great support with them. It's a US based customer service, so that was good. They spoke English and even understood my southern slang. So I sent an email with pictures, and their customer service, Chris, he contacted me probably within an hour and a half and said that was not right, and he's went ahead and shipped out another battery. So I have another battery coming to replace my starter battery. This one's fine and no issues here. I did move the smart shunt over here. So I had it on the starter battery and I was monitoring the auxiliary battery, but the way I needed to do it was put it on the auxiliary and monitor the voltage on the starter battery. So now with the Bluetooth app, I'm seeing exactly what kind of draw, how many amps, watt hours are being taken away, and it gives me the life of the battery. So, and it's a better spot over here. I like it over here. I can actually get to it. Over there, I didn't like it. It just looked like it was sitting there. Here, I can actually have it mounted and secured. So that worked out a lot better. But super happy with the Dakota Lithium customer support. Now, Chris did offer their new line of starter batteries to me, but it's only a 20 amp hour reserve, and the reason I did this setup with this was I wanted the 270 amp hours. That's a lot of power for a rig like this, so I think that would cover all of my power needs. And I forget the technology. I've got it in an email, and I'll get to it later. But yeah, it's a new starter battery that they're coming out with. It's not on their website, and he wanted to warranty one of those. But like I told him, I was like, man, I'm really going after the amp hours on the setup. So he said, okay, I'll send you one of the other ones and we'll try it. So he sent me another 135 amp hour. I'm gonna put it in place. Hopefully it doesn't do the same, but if it does, I'm probably gonna swap to their new starter battery. Yeah, I know it's not as many amp hours, but I'll still have 155 amp hours between the two, which is still more than I need, in my opinion. So it'll run anything I have camping wise. So we'll see about that. We should get the battery this week. I'll swap those out. He said to get rid of the battery, but man, that's been like that since the first week in my FJ, and I'm just now getting around to it. So I'm going to take the battery out and utilize it on a trailer setup or something. It's a great battery, and I think it's got plenty of life in it. So we'll use it on a trailer setup with a winch, or I'll utilize it, that's for sure. So that's it on the charging and battery update of the FJ. What else I got going on? I got about 15,000 miles on my tires, and they're starting to ride a little different. So I think I need to balance them. I didn't balance them when I mounted them. I just aligned the dots where I needed to, and it was dialed in just fine. But now I'm noticing a little bounce at about 70, 75, and so I got to balance my wheels. To do that, it's me taking the FJ somewhere and letting someone take my wheels off and chance them scratching them. And I think that cost me a couple $100 to do 5, them taking them off. For me to take them off and take them up there, it costs $150 for 5. And a lot of people don't like doing the bead locks and all. So, man, you know, I'm gonna do these probably 3 or 4 more times. That's $600, and that's just on this. So I decided to update the garage, and I got a couple pieces of equipment. I got me a wheel balancer and a tire changer. I would really just needed the wheel balancer because the bead locks, I'll probably always run those, and I mean, I can do those by hand, so I don't really need a machine to do it. But the machine was half price with the combo, so I went ahead and got the tire changer as well. And I'll take you in there and show you that. It's nothing fancy, but man, I used it on one of mine yesterday and dialed in my front wheel, went for a ride, and I took out that bounce at 70. So it's my driver's side front wheel that was doing it, and I hadn't even dialed in the other ones yet. So I got to get the proper weights. I need some ounce weights. I got some half ounce, and I got quarter ounce. I don't want a bunch of quarter ounce weights all over the wheels like most people do. So take you inside and show you that. All right, so here's the tire changer. Like I say, it's nothing fancy, but it will be easier than when I did these by hand. So when I got my bead locks and my mud terrains, I mounted those by hand. And when I say by hand, that was by knees, by legs, by arms. I had it sitting, it was terrible. So that will make it easier. And then here's the wheel balancer. Like I said, nothing fancy, but I used these things in automotive school years ago, and they're pretty simple. It does what it needs to do. All you gotta do is get it balanced. Then it doesn't bounce. So, pretty sweet. It will hold up to I think this is up to a 24-inch rim, or 24-inch wheel, and up to a 39-inch tire. So, I am pretty sure I will never have anything like that on the FJ. but if I do. So that's the garage update. The lift, I've had the lift for a while, been using it, and I've had no issues, love it. So very happy with my lift. I need to get this stuff set up a little better, but it's functional. Just a little, like, all my detail stuff is kind of out of place and some of it's not in place, but that's how I keep the FJ clean. And product update, here's the Bush Company 270 awning that I can't wait to get mounted on the FJ. It's going on the passenger side because of the way the tailgate unlocks. I'm waiting on brackets. These are the brackets it came with, and with that on top of my roof rack, I would have to drill holes in the roof rack, which I don't want to do. And then if I use this, it would have to be, it doesn't fit. And my tent, I'd have to do a lot of fab work to get my tent to fit with it. So I've got a set of brackets. The awning brackets are being made by Victory 4x4, and they should be in, I hope, in the next week or so I can get the awning attached. Once I do that, I'll show you that. All right, that's it for today's episode, y'all. Just giving you an update on the FJ and a little update on the garage. I'm about to go for a ride and enjoy this beautiful day here in southern Mississippi. So if you got any questions or comments, please drop them below. If you would, like and subscribe. And until next time, stay trashy.